was able to move on so quickly and put the Dallas game in the past and then just have success and out-execute tonight?
Well, I think, I know sometimes I stand up here and talk about things like culture. I talk about things, talk about our locker room, in my opinion, being one of the most connected, close-knit groups in the entire National Football League that I've been around. And I think sometimes people shrug their shoulders or shake their head, yeah, that's not going to matter. Well, on 4 days' time to turn around after, a loss that, could leave a lot of teams searching. You know what our guys searched for? They just wanted to show back up to work. And on a short week, prepare. The coaching staff put together a great plan. And they came out here and had a ton of energy. I give Tyler Williams and Uriah a great deal of credit for getting our guys turned over. How we prepare is an important part of it. But really, my goal here is just to have our organization ready to put it all together. Even when people don't give us a chance or when adversity hits, that's when I happen to believe that our team and the best parts of our team come out. And I think that will continue to serve us well while we continue to improve as a football team this year.
Kevin, what were the ways you saw that kind of come out this week in terms of guys being at their best or at least being able to move on quickly?
You could feel it Monday. When we had those guys in, you could feel Monday that we didn't. Each week in this league is its own challenge, and if you don't play your best or play well against good football teams, bad results can happen. And I think our team learned coming off of that emotional Buffalo win. I didn't necessarily think we didn't have a good week of prep, but what I thought was, we really needed to challenge ourselves to emotionally and physically play, with unbelievable energy and enthusiasm. And I think our fans, what an atmosphere tonight. To every time we needed them to be with us on defense and make that extra stop, or special teams with K'nay's huge kick return, or Ryan Wright punting it 3 times inside the 20. I felt like the crowd and our atmosphere here really willed our organization forward coming off of a tough loss, and that is forever something that I'll remember in these tough circumstances. But we got to continue to improve and try to show up each and every week, with purpose and not need to have setbacks to find our best. And I think that's what we're going to need to do as the season moves forward and hopefully on into January.
And what was the key to the vast improvement in pass protection?
Well, we had a real plan that kind of knowing where we'd be at. We wanted to try to run the football, and it's a tough group to run it against. Not a lot of average per carry tonight, but we were able to churn out runs to then allow us to activate some play passes. We used a lot of different techniques on the edges to try to condense that rush and try to let Kirk have some clean pockets. And I will say, they got the NFL sack leader over there. They've got some really good interior rushers, timely pressures. And Kirk Cousins was phenomenal tonight, getting us in and out of the plays he did, standing back there and making some big time throws. I can't say enough about the protection as well. Those guys doing their jobs. And it was not easy. It's never going to be easy against that defensive structure, team or coaching staff. So I give our guys a ton of credit for making plays and just consistently finding ways to drive the football.
A couple guys in the locker room mentioned the touchdown to field, and that was the call you guys have been trying to get to for a good portion of the game. What made that the moment to come back to it there?
I was stubborn. I was going to continue to try to find the look that we were looking for, and like great coaching staffs do on the other side, they were varying some things up, and we were able to finally get the kind of the look we were looking for there. But our whole group was ready. A clean pocket. I think Kirk had 3 or 4 hitches right there. And even though it's a play pass, you still have to block the man over you, and you have to block on the edges. And I thought that was one of the cleanest pockets all night when he's able to kind of set his feet front side to Justin and then have Adam screaming across the back. We figured we would have one of those guys. Kirk made a great decision, and what an unbelievable throw in that moment to put the extra RPMs to kind of beat that undercutting defender.
Did you guys flip anything at the end for your pass rush? They got home a couple times there.
I thought Ed had some real timely pressures that he called. It looked like there was some, he activated some kind of mugged up looks and then sent some pressure. Both times I think we're successful, either getting him off the spot or potentially getting the sack. And then that sack to start the last drive that they had to really knock them back, no timeouts. I know sometimes it can be painful in those 4-minute modes, but I'm trying to make sure that they had to use their last 2 timeouts, so there wasn't a chance for an explosive by them and then a timeout, and then all of a sudden they could potentially move it. So I just have so much faith in our guys, in that closer's mentality that we have. But once again, I give Ed a ton of credit for those timely pressures in the second half that he called. Duke Shelley stepping up and making some plays there down in the red zone. And then ultimately, our guys being able to finish it out.
What was painful when you guys were on?
Just when we're on offense in that mode you're going to run it 3 times or potentially, have a safe play action that if you get it, great. Otherwise, you're going to more than likely take a sack. But the key in that situation is the clock, making sure that they use their timeout so that when they get the ball back after a very, very, successful Ryan Wright punt, his 3rd inside the 20 of the night, great coverage by our guys. It's going to be awfully hard to go 90-plus yards or 85 yards without a timeout in that situation. So situationally, not always pretty from a yardage standpoint, things like that, but our guys got the job done and mission accomplished in that scenario.
Do you ever find yourself just saying, wow, with what Justin Jefferson can do?
I do. He's one of absolutely the most special players I've ever been around as a player or coach. He tends to show up and be ready to go every time we put on the uniform and go out there. And he was double teamed a lot tonight. Had some success against some of those double team looks. When he got single coverage, Kirk found him a few times. Got a great double move there to set up Adams' touchdown, go-ahead touchdown. He's a special player. He means a whole heck of a lot to our offense, to our team. It was a big night for Justin, and quite frankly, I'm just so proud of the way he battles and the grit and the determination and the preparation that he's put into this. And people forget sometimes it's still only year 3, and he's learning so much each and every week. But the talent and the competitive drive that he has just makes him a very special player.
Hey, Kevin, Kirk threw the interception early, but just to see him just settle back in and keep making plays, what do you think about him is able to just move on from that and then put it in the rear view and keep going forward?
Excuse me, I think he had a very, very good week of preparation on a short week. His ownership, I know we've talked a lot about that, but you don't play like he did tonight without really starting to develop some ownership of our offense. And I think the way he played at Buffalo to kind of will us to a victory, and then we all had to learn some lessons coming out of Sunday, me included, maybe me more so than anybody. But I can tell you that Kirk played really, really well tonight. And there's really so many plays you can kind of go back to and call on, 3rd down plays, play action shots, great decisions to check the ball down. Didn't allow the rush when it did get there to really affect him. And then he overcomes that early adversity of an interception. That's probably a bad play call by me. I'm trying to do too much on a 3rd and long, and I'll continue to improve and always look inward. That's going to be really spending a lot of time over this mini-bye, making sure that I'm at my best when we show back up ready to roll next week.